All right, guys, so when it comes to increasing hip movement potential, it's extremely important to really go about this efficiently. And what I mean by that is, if you're a pitcher, or even if you're just an athlete, a high profile athlete who's attempting to increase movement potential, and then go out into the field and utilize that added movement potential, it's really important to remember that your body has been moving a certain way for so long, and it's highly important to really focus on owning those positions and getting comfortable in those specific positions, because when you're moving at such a high speed, during competition, which you will, it's really easy to increase that movement and get into positions that your body's not necessarily used to owning. So some things that I really like to do, for me personally, again, I'm a pitcher, so it could look different for a hitter, but for me, it's really important to not only increase the movement of our hips, but to also challenge the range and challenge the ownage of that movement. And what I mean by that is, when I'm pitching, my goal is to apply force, hold force into the ground with my drive leg, internally rotate, front foot plant, maximize separation, internally rotate to the full max, and then release the ball, finish out front, late launch, stabilize, all of these different mechanical cues. So you got to think about my most important positions, right? Maximizing hip internal rotation. You'll see a couple videos for that as well within this package. And then it's to be able to release and finish over our front leg and almost counter rotate over that front leg. So a position that I really like to kind of own per se is getting my drive leg as far back as I can. You're going to feel that hip flexor really stretch, kind of stabilize with this lead leg, and really just get down and sink as far as you can and maximize that length. Again, I'm pretty mobile, so it could look differently for everybody. And then stabilize here. You're gonna feel a little wobbly, uncoordinated. You're gonna feel a lot of tension back here. It's important to stabilize with your trunk. This is what we're stabilizing with when we throw a baseball as well. And then once we can kind of own this position, take your hands, put them together, and then take your elbow and throw it across your lead leg into this T-spine mobility here, but you're not changing posture of the drive leg nor the lead leg. So again, very similar position that we need to challenge and own when we're off the field to be able to do it more efficiently, under control, while we're on the field. Another one is basically that same movement, but now you're taking that leg down and you're taking your inside of your elbow. You guys have probably done this, all the way down to your foot, and try to just kind of challenge that that lead leg capacity of that hip. And then once you kind of get there, come up, and then this is where it gets really tricky for me. I externally rotate my leg, my right leg, my drive leg, get my foot parallel to the ground, and then push off, and then almost switch, right? Switch that, just how we were. Do the same thing on this side, so on and so forth, so on and so forth, and then do the same thing. My left is a little bit restricted, more restricted than my right, but see how my foot, I turn my foot to get parallel, right foot's parallel. Now I'm pushing off, and I'm just rotating my feet. Again, we're challenging the range. We're owning these particular positions that we need to own before we step on the battlefield and try to do it at full speed. If we try to do it at full speed without having first trained and owned and loaded those positions, that's where we see breakdowns. Hopefully that makes sense. Excited to add it into your program and see your gains. Keep killing it.